Story time. So I got bored this last Thursday, so I decided that I wanted to try watching a series on Disney Plus. So I was looking through the list of TV series and saw the new High School Musical the Musical series and decided to try it. About 2 minutes into that, I got bored and decided that this was a bad idea. But I happened to see that there were a couple of Marvel series, so I started watching Agent Carter. I had no intentions of reviewing this show, I just wanted to watch it for fun. It just so happened that this series was so good that I just had to do a review on it. Hi everyone, I'm Luke Filmboss, and today I will be reviewing Marvel's Agent Carter. Season 1. This season does just about everything right. Character building, stakes, plot, suspense, great fight choreography, pacing, etc. There was nearly 6 hours of runtime in this first season, so yeah, I'm not going to break down everything. The only thing I have to say about season 1 is that it was great. And there was one big factor that did stand out that I do want to get into, but it also applies to season 2 a little bit, so I'll just wait on that. I give season 1 a 96% in quality and a 92% in enjoyment for an overall score of 94%. Season 2. This season starts off about as good as the first season. I actually think that the detective aspect in the second season was better than the first. However, as a whole, while the second season isn't bad, it pales in comparison to the first in quality. Which is funny because the second season follows the same structure. But everything that the second season does, the first season did better. The second season decided to go bigger, not better. And what I mean by that statement is that although the second season isn't as well crafted as the first, it does expand the story from a simple crime heist to a science-bending interdimensional adventure. Suddenly, the universe of Agent Carter goes beyond just a crime story and starts going into government corruption, interdimensional portals, and superpowers. And because the second season goes bigger, it keeps our attention for quite a while. However, by the last 3 episodes, season 2 starts to drag. It still isn't terrible, but it falls short and just feels like it's stretching itself too long, and for less than an amazing ending. The reason that the end of season 2 seems to drag on is because throughout the season we never really had one set goal of where we wanted to be. In season 1, the goal was always the same: get Stark's inventions back and find and stop the thieves. In season 2, we never really have one set goal. We have multiple: find out how the lake froze, get the Zero Matter, get Jason Wilkes back to his physical state, and stop Whitney Frost. Not to mention all the mini goals that the season poses. By the end, we feel like things might go on forever, even though we know that they won't. But it still makes the end seem long. Sorry everyone, I lied about season 2. I said that season 1 did everything better, but there was one thing that the second season did do better, and that thing is probably the most important part: the villain. Whitney Frost, aka Madame Mescue, was actually a pretty good villain. And yes, Dottie Underwood was great in the first and second season, but she always felt like too much of a side player, while Whitney Frost was always the biggest focus of the second season. And she is a much better villain than most of the MCU movie villains are. What makes her really good is that she got the Thanos treatment even before we got Thanos. She believes that what she is doing is right and must be done to make things better, and she is going to achieve the one thing she needs to obtain in order to set balance to the world. Now, this season doesn't handle this aspect nearly as good as Infinity War does with Thanos, but she is still a great villain. However, by the last 4 to 3 episodes, the Zero Matter begins to feel like a glorified form of the Venom symbiote. I give season 2 a 77% in quality and an 85% in enjoyment for an overall score of 81%. Now to get down to the main aspect that really stands out about the first season and a little bit in the second season. Female empowerment. It is honestly a shame that Captain Marvel was the big movie to bring a message about female empowerment to the MCU, because an Agent Carter movie would have worked so much better. Captain Marvel did it wrong, Agent Carter did it right. This is one of the smaller aspects, but first off, the time period of Agent Carter is just right for this kind of a message to feel relevant. The next reason that Agent Carter works is that it shows us that females can handle their own. It doesn't just tell us. How do we know that Agent Carter is stronger and more skilled than most men? By showing her beat 2 or more men in a fight by herself. Also, this show doesn't make the females invincible. They still have vulnerabilities. Agent Carter still has to overcome obstacles, and with difficulty in most cases. She isn't some all-powerful character who can punch her way out of every situation. If you want to see an example of how making the female characters too strong can ruin a movie, I would recommend watching the Charlie's Angels 2019 video by Filmento, who is probably the greatest YouTuber of all time. Next is the environment. Agent Carter is in an environment where men see her as less than what she is. She is a certified agent who could outfight any man in her office, but she is treated as the lunch-fetching secretary. Because of this, the audience wants to see Carter succeed. Not because she's a woman and women can be better than men, but because she is a human being who is better than the men around her, who is being underappreciated because of her sex. There are also plenty of crude men who abuse their position of being a man and overstep their bounds when it comes to behavior towards women, and so we are glad when we see the woman give those men what they had coming to them. Lastly, this show doesn't try to make all men evil. Not every female empowerment story tries to make all the men the bad guys, but very many do. Not Agent Carter, however. There are plenty of supportive men around Agent Carter, and even the ones who do look down on her for being a woman aren't completely unreasonable. There's a lot more that I could go into about the female empowerment aspect, but I'm just going to leave it where I am. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Agent Carter. I already gave you my scores on the individual seasons, so here's my score for the series overall. 94% for Season 1 and an 81% for Season 2 for an overall score for the series of 87.5%. Agent Carter reminded me of how much I love the MCU. So, with Black Widow being moved till May of next year, I will have time to review all of the MCU movies leading up to the release of Black Widow. I'm not giving up on my reviews of the live-action Disney reimaginings. I will be doing a live-action Disney reimagining and an MCU movie every other week. So, be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Filmboss. Thanks for watching.